Okay, we're moving on. Okay, so the Ramchal explains, now he summarizes everything, and he says, basically, the reason that we exist, the reason why our hearts are beating is because Hashem wants us to find our way to Him and be as close to Him as possible. And to overcome all the challenges that we're facing in this world. And this, again, is the purpose why we brought to this world. So we shouldn't complain about all these challenges. And that is also the war that we spoke about. That in life, wherever we are, whatever situation we're put in, we're always in a war. And he says, all the pleasures that Hashem gave us, everything that we can enjoy in this world, we should use just to the amount that we need to bring ourselves peace of mind. And to clear our hearts and our minds to follow Hashem and to worship Hashem and to do good things. We shouldn't drown in money and just look for the biggest whatever and the best steak in the world, and there are greater things to chase. And he says that the main thing that we should crave in life, the main thing that should lead us in life is this is the purpose of our existence, is trying to be as close to Hashem as possible. And this should also be the engine that pushes us to do whatever it is that we're doing. Every action that we're doing, whether it's big or small, in a way we should look at it and think, does it bring me closer to my purpose or doesn't it? And what we should also do is try to break everything that divides us away from Hashem. And in this world that is not so clear. So yeah, there are things that are bringing us away from Hashem, and there are things that stand between us and Hashem, and it could be our bad qualities even. It could be our laziness, and it could be just doubts, or anything that it is, even looking down at ourselves, whatever it is that pulls us down, whatever it is that pulls us away from Hashem, all these things we should break, and we should fight, and we should try to bring ourselves to burn in the strongest fire, craving to Hashem. Basically, that's what he says. And then he describes something from the Talmud. He says, in the Talmud, there is a paragraph that explains what is the way to be as close to Hashem as possible. He said, first of all, we need clarity of mind. First of all, we need to sit down with all these things that we spoke about, believe and understand what is the purpose of our lives, and what it is that we came here to do. And then when you have this path in your mind, when you know what is the goal, when you know where you want to be, now we need to pave this path. Look who wanted to join our learning. Elishu. Okay, so then he describes something that it says in the Talmud. It says, first of all, what's the first thing we need? We need caution. When you know what's the right thing to do, you know where you want to get. So now you need to be careful. Everything that you do, does it bring me closer to my purpose, or does it push me farther away? We're going to learn so much more about it, so I'm not going to go deep. I'm just going to tell you what are the things in our road, what are the milestones. So it says caution brings you to zrizut. Now, I looked it up. What is zrizut in English? And zrizut is nimbleness or quickness. That brings you to nakiyut, which is when something is refined. It's naki. So refinedness. The next thing is prishut, which is asceticism, which is basically not to chase everything that there is in this world, but to try to limit the things that you're using, and not using in the way of using, but more like not needed pleasures. Then it brings you to tahara, which is purity. Purity brings you to chasidut, which is righteousness. Righteousness brings you to anava, which is being modest. Anava brings you to irat chet, which is fear of sin, which brings you to kedusha, which is sanctity or holiness. And this is the road that they're paving for us, and we're going to learn of every single step of the road. and it's going to be very exciting. We're going to have a bumpy ride. Buckle up. And thank you for joining me again. Bye. Good evening.